This is just a good record that shows people proof that you've been homeschooling, you're keeping a permanent record, you have all the academic information you need. So this is what we would highly recommend you get. Sometimes during the busy season, and this is standard, I'll bet with almost every company coming up, is going to be up to 2 weeks turnaround time. And my story anyway is meant to be more of a introduction. It's meant to be, hey, let's talk about your neighbors. Let's talk about, you know, your city and your grandparents and different things, and not necessarily a memorization course as much as an awareness course. If you're coming from public school and you're looking at what was taught in a public school environment and when, that Common Core philosophy isn't going to translate very much. You're just not going to see that in the homeschool environment. Good Tuesday afternoon, Master Books world.
Happy Tuesday.
It is. It's Tuesday. Hey, happy Tuesday.
It's not Monday.
I was off all last week. It was beautiful, having some time off. And so we're back in the saddle, but it feels good to be back here today as well.
We missed you. I missed you.
You missed me? Thank you. Thank you.
Our office was quiet. It was just me and Josh in our office.
Yeah. Now, today, I've been down in the warehouse. So let me say this as we start out. Because of COVID, the homeschool experience has exploded. Yeah, like it's crazy. And it's awesome. We love that Master Books is positioned where we are for such a time as this. But can I encourage you all to make sure that you get your orders in, because we're working hard to keep things in stock, and we're working hard to turn orders around. But the delays are starting, and when you sell as much product as we got going out every day, the turnaround is just, it takes time. So don't hold off on ordering. If you're a last minute person, school may get delayed a little bit if you wait. So don't wait.
Hello to all my fellow procrastinators. We got to get on it.
Truth. So today we're just going to go over some of the Q&As and answer some questions. We're also watching here in the group. If you're watching, be sure to let us know that you're here. You got anybody watching?
Yeah, we got Jess. She's always our first commenter.
Hey, Jess.
Hello, Barbara, Cam, Patty, Irina, Missy, and Georgia.
Hey, everybody. Welcome.
And Krista, and Sunshine, and S.
No.
I'm going to guess the name is
Sarah.
Sarah
Virgino?
Sarah.
You think so?
I think Sarah.
Okay.
Krista, Rachel, Mrs. Thomas.
Yeah, the app is
blowing up.
is hopping. I'll tell you.
If you are on Facebook, drop a comment. Let us know you're there. Let us know that it's working, because Facebook is still testing around with the live stream. Courtney.
Yeah. But the app is kicking it, and the app just did an update to the video, so it streams in higher quality and faster. So the app is actually really pretty cool.
The app is where it's at.
I think so. I'm amazed. There's so many people. Can I say something for all of you that are in Facebook if you're watching? The Facebook group has over 500 posts a week. I think last week there was 6,000 posts in the Facebook group. We are having to be strict about the rules that we have, that it's only for curriculum and discussions about Master Books, because we're so busy trying to keep up with answering questions. And the app is the Facebook side is a big part of our customer service and support. So if you want to talk about bindings and things like that, the app, we'd encourage you and beg you to move into the app, because we got a chit chat group where you can talk about things not related necessarily to Master Books. We've got an inspirations group where we want to see pictures of homeschool rooms and folders and books and calendars and all of that. We have special needs groups. We have a chapel group for prayer. We have specific groups for elementary, junior high, junior high and high school. So definitely move into the app. If you go to the Apple Store or Google the Google app, and you type Master Books, the app will come up, and it's free. And we have a team of coaches there who help answer questions, but we've also got an awesome group of people. I think there's 6,000 people in the app, and that app is, there's enough people in the app and enough engagement that we actually got profiled by the platform app and said, you know, how are you guys doing what you're doing?
Because we're amazing, obviously.
And we have a pretty amazing tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tribe runs.
The tribe is awesome. So we really don't even know if Facebook is working, unless...
We as a whole.
Yeah.
Let me check real quick. I just don't want to lose my... You
Got
check.
some questions?
I don't want to lose my questions if
Okay.
I do that. A lot of people jumping in on the app, saying they just switched over from Facebook to the app. Seashell said, I'm just seeing a black screen, but all comments are coming through. Weird, Facebook Live is working though. Hello, ordered my first materials today. My son is going into 2nd grade. We have some newbies in here, so hello and welcome. We're excited that you're here. It is working, so I'm just not seeing the comments.
There's comments in there, so.
Anything good?
Cool.
Alicia said, hey y'all, today was our first day in the new school year. It's exciting.
Yay.
I saw a lot of first day of homeschooling photos in the Mom's Master Books group today.
Yeah.
Courtney Land is a fellow newbie. Welcome, welcome. We're so excited you're here.
Okay. Are we ready?
Diving into questions. You can leave questions and comments in the live stream, and I will keep an eye on those.
We're going to go kind of fast. If you got a black screen in the app, you're going to want to update it. Go to your app store, and there should be a place to update your app. So update the app, and you'll get the new version of the app because there's a lot of new features in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Heather asks, what is the difference between the timeline in the back of the world story and the packet timeline? Do I need both?
So the timeline that was in the book itself was kind of a very simple timeline. We wanted to make one more robust, so we went through the book and we took pictures that the student would be seeing in the book. So each chapter, let's say a chapter on George Washington, if there was a picture in there, we took it out. Or maybe we found a better picture and built a collection of timeline pictures in the packet. So it's just a more robust timeline packet than what you have in the back of the book. And it's set up so it's a little bit more intuitive, just a little bit easier. So if you have the app, or if you have the timeline, if you bought the timeline to go along with America's Story, because we're beginning to see some really cool pictures, please weigh in. Let us know what you think of those.
Vanessa asks, are there any YouTube videos that go with the books?
If you go to the YouTube channel or even in the Moms of Master Books and you do searches, I mean, we've been doing live videos now. Wow, I started them with Katie when she was here. That's maybe 2 years.
I started about 4 years ago.
4 years?
4 years ago.
Yeah, so we've been doing videos, product videos, Q&A videos, teaching tip videos, solidly for 3 years. Anyway, so there's a lot of videos out there.
Rachel said, all of the first day photos have me feeling like I'm procrastinating. I'm hanging into no school in July. I'll be joining the first day August, Mom. So I'm thrilled and so happy for all the new families just joining us, though.
Yeah.
A lot of first timers in the app. It's exciting.
Awesome. Welcome everybody to the app.
How long does it take to complete the Stepping Stones book for pre-K?
It's a 1-year course, and I believe it's 3 days. Let's see.
And the cow pick on the shelf.
Yeah, the cow pick came out again. Yeah, it's three days a week, but it's set up to do over a 36-week or 1-year period. You could do it faster or slower, depending on how your student is handling it. Go at your student's rate, but it's designed for 36 weeks.
Awesome. That question was from Tabitha. This question is from Amanda. Do you offer a records-keeping program for report cards or a transcript service?
We use a cumulative record. It's available on the website if you do the cumulative record. Basically, it doesn't come in a 3-ring binder, but it does. You can buy the digital or the print, and it has everything that you need for pre-K through 12th grade, including a transcript. So for every grade, let's just flip over. 3rd grade, you would keep all of your You could have your math scores for first semester, second semester. You could tell what resources were used: math lessons for living education; language lessons for living education; history, America's story.
Did you angle it up a little bit?
Science, yeah.
Can we be able to see it on the screen?
Science, you would do God's design, science.
There we go.
There's a preview on the site as well. And it's designed to actually teach growing in knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Is part growing in stature, growing in favor with God. And this, as you keep it, it also has some really handy features. It has a blank daily schedule in the back. It's got some place you can make copies to do curriculum planning. It's got certificates of completion that you could make copies of if you wanted to give your students certificates of completion. It has a report card or a progress report that you could use, that you could actually fill out so your student could show grandpa and grandma every quarter how they're doing in school, what their grades are. It's got an objective for math. And the nice thing about this is it gives you a record. We recommend this for every student or something similar. But essentially, if you ever got the knock at your door that said your neighbor noticed the kids were out jumping on the trampoline when they should have been in school, and so CPS is calling to see why aren't your kids in school, and you have to, we recommend you use HSLDA. HSLDA would recommend you have them call them, but besides that, this is just a good record that shows people proof that you've been homeschooling, you're keeping a permanent record, you have all the academic information you need. So this is what we would highly recommend you get. And even if you don't use this specific format, using what you see in here to build your own and to have some kind of permanent record for each of your students is really important. We also recommend keeping your students' work. Grab a box, go to Stuff Mart and get a big plastic see-through bin, and as your kids finish their schoolwork, just toss it into the bin and keep them. Keep it as a record in case you ever need it to be able to say, I actually have records. I think we still have records of our graduates, students who graduated, a lot of their schoolwork, just because that's the way Kristen rolls.
Awesome. Over in the Facebook live stream, Patricia asked, could you talk about the books for American literature? And then right underneath, she said, what is necessary for completing the curriculum?
So with American literature, you can actually use you don't need to read all of the books. There's enough information in there that you could do the course based on the summaries. A lot of people will choose one or two of the books that may interest a student and have them actually read those books. They're available. Most of them are available at the library. You can buy or get the free digital downloads. There's a website listed, like Library of Congress or something for those, and you could do those. So you don't necessarily have to read every single book that's there. With that course, we recommend you own it. Right? You take advantage of doing what works best for your student. You want to give them an overview of literature, of American literature, but you don't have to drown them in it. And answer it. Use it as a beginning starting spot, but make it yours.
Awesome. Amanda asked, what grade level should you start your ACT or SAT prep books?
I think you would start those usually right before the test, right? So
like 10th, 11th.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And you can also take a pre-test, like you guys always took pre-SATs. I actually took you to the schools for the pre-SATs.
I didn't.
You didn't? Okay, I took your brothers.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Tasha said, can we watch a sample video anywhere for the Master Books Academy for principles in mathematics?
There's a demo type video that shows the content, what it's like. And that's pretty much what the course is like. I mean, she comes in, shows some illustrations, and does the discussions. There isn't a preview video of the content itself online.
Amanda asked, does More Than Words level 1 and 2 coincide? I want to use it for my kinder, 3rd and 5th grade, but I want to teach it in a group. I
think they teach a little something different. I don't think that they go hand in hand, But if somebody's watching and thinks that that's different, please let me know. I think there's a little bit different information.
Carrie said, math lessons for living education. My daughter did level 3 this last year, but has not mastered her multiplication facts. Will level 4 have enough review built in on multiplication and division for her to just continue on, or should we pause until she has them mastered?
I guess I would say move into level 4. It's not going to have a ton of review because it's going to assume that they know it. But sometimes with students, it may, maybe you have the multiplication chart sitting there that they can refer to, and you continue working with them on their facts. Awesome.
Crystal asks, anywhere I can find a list of brick and mortar stores that carry your books. Would love to do some in-person shopping, but don't know how to find a store near me that carries them. Somebody mentioned Mardell, and she looked, but she doesn't have a Mardell near her.
Okay. I would check and see if there's any local homeschool stores. And if they're not carrying it, ask them, why would you not carry the best-selling curriculum in homeschooling?
Seriously.
Like, you call yourself a homeschool store, and you don't even carry it. Now, seriously.
It should be a no-brainer.
Yeah, seriously, Master Books, in the last few years, Master Books has taken off. We are, even we work with companies like Christian Book Distributors and Rainbow Resources, and they will tell you Master Books is one of the fastest growing companies in the homeschool market right now.
Take off high five.
Yeah, because...
No, it's
gotta go this way?
Five.
Okay. because of this tribe that we have is awesome. We have so many of you are so awesome about you found something that works. You get the heart behind Master Books, and then you're telling your friends and you're telling new families, and we cannot thank you enough for sharing the good news of Master Books. Exactly. You hear all kinds of hand signals today.
I like the takeoff high five though. No, you start low.
Start low. Go up.
You did not. You
so
flat-toed me.
we had my daughter-in-law visiting for 2 weeks, and she's very Italian, and so there was a whole lot of hands and up highs.
Up high. She's everybody's hype man. So when somebody like says a joke or anything, she'll run up and she'll be like up top. And if nobody high fives her, she's like, it's okay, I'm my own hype woman, I got it.
Yeah. So we got all kinds of, we're going.
Energy.
Yep.
Okay. Rebecca asked, are there any books that I should add for my 3-year-old who is doing stepping stones?
3-year-old? No. In fact, you could do some basic books that you could read, but I don't think there's nothing that you would need additionally. Those programs are very developmental, so they're designed to help with developing the whole student, not just academics. So just reading to your student has definite benefits, but there's nothing that you need or that is recommended with the course.
Good.
Thank you.
V. Brian said, can I see the Leonard's biblical chronological chart? I should have added it to my very large order yesterday. I got cold feet. Do we have one, or should I go grab one?
I don't have one. Is there not a preview or a picture of it on the website? That's a question I can't answer in this.
I can go grab one. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to take off and grab one in the time that it takes you to answer the question.
Okay.
So, here we go.
Ask
the
a hard one.
question is, hello, brand new to homeschooling and Master Books. My son will be doing Simply K this year. I saw something about a supplement or accompanying book coming out for kindergarten soon. Is this correct? And do you think I would be able to use it for this year? Wait, don't answer
Simply
it
K?
until I leave.
It was Simply K, right?
Simply K. Here we go.
So with Simply K, the books that we have with Simply K would be Math K. We would recommend doing Math K alongside Simply K. Simply K is 3 days a week. I think Math K... Man, I should know all these things. So let me grab my Simply K book. Simply K, 36 weeks. Dun, 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 dun. And... Day 1, day 2, day 3. Yes, so Simply K is 3 days a week, and then I believe Math K is 5 days a week, or you could do it however works best for your family. That would be the only one that we would have right now. Eventually, we may be building some more. I think Let's Talk Science, we may have a K level coming out. My Story, we're at some point a K level coming out, but currently it would be just Math K and Simply K. Let's see. So that's that, and she hasn't come back yet with it. So, did she get it? No.
Sadly, I think it's in the warehouse.
Yeah, we'd have to get that. I'm sorry.
Didn't see it in the library.
Okay.
Okay, so did you ask any more questions? Or
No.
Okay. Rachel asked, I would really love to see a Writing Strands coach. The app community has been super helpful, but we'll be using it for the first time this year and I'm feeling a little nervous. I love the ideas from Pro Moms on how to implement all of the different aspects. I've also read The Teaching Companion, which is great.
Yes, Teaching Companion is good. There's a DVD, or not a DVD, there's a YouTube video that from the original author of the series, Dave Marks. It floats around. It's in the Moms of Master Books group. Somebody may be able to post it actually in the app as well. And that video shares the heart behind it, what he's trying to accomplish. I definitely, if you have questions, I would ask questions in this group in the app because it's the most cutting edge. I learned the most about the Writing Strand series from talking with the moderators and coaches and the moms who use it, because they've given me some tremendous insights into discussing it. So I know we have a number of coaches who are using it and love it in the moderator team. So definitely ask your questions in here that you have if there's anything specific.
Just Me Joy said, I'm not sure if I will have custody of my 2 grandkids next year. Their dad plans to put them in public school when and if he gets them. I'm pretty sure at this point that they will still be here. Should I go ahead and order next year's curriculum, or will there be availability next year?
There will be availability. It's just if you had a deadline and you were like wanting to start September 1st and you're going to wait until August 20th, you may end up being delayed a little bit. You know, sometimes during the busy season, and this is standard, I'll bet with almost every company coming up, is going to be up to 2 weeks turnaround time. And so that's something that we definitely want to do.
Awesome. Lily asked, I would like to combine my world story with my 6-year-old and 5-year-old. What is the best strategy?
I think it's My Story is what she's talking about. And I think I would recommend targeting it towards your 6th grader and towards your 6-year-old, right?
Yes. 6
Target
and
it
5.
towards your 6-year-old and let your 5-year-old listen. Don't try to make your 5-year-old retain a lot of information. And My Story anyway is meant to be more of a introduction. It's meant to be, hey, let's talk about your neighbors. Let's talk about, you know, your city and your grandparents and different things, and not necessarily a memorization course as much as an awareness course.
Awesome. I'm trying to work to get a chart brought, but anyways. Chelsea asked, if you buy a pre-made bundle, if you wish to return or exchange one book, can you just do a single exchange, or does it have to be the whole bundle? You
could return just a single book, and they can give you a partial return.
Okay. Vanessa said, can you teach a phonics course to 2 different kids at the same time? Also, would you need a book for each of them, or could you use just one?
You could teach 2 kids at once. You could use one book as long as you were making copies. There is some work in the book that they would do in the book. It's a consumable, so to speak. So you would probably be more affordable to use 2 books, unless you wanted to buy one digital and print them out.
Elena asked, are there any plans for more living art lessons?
At the current time, there are none slated.
Does Master Books cover the 180-day school year requirements?
Yes. 36 weeks, 180 days.
Nina asked, she said, this is my first year homeschooling my twins. They will be going into the 3rd grade. We will be doing God's Design for Life, but they are also very interested in zoology. Do you think that would be too much to do in 1 year?
it's a lot. And some depends on your students and how excited they are about it. So, I mean, you could certainly do it. And the zoology course has, here's the cool thing about zoology. The books that are in that course, like Big Book of Animals.
This is my favorite one.
Oh my goodness, this book is incredible. If you were to buy this book and use it, even with life science, you still have some fantastic resources. So maybe you wouldn't have to do the course itself if it got to be overwhelming, but you would still have all the resources. So that's something that, you know, if you did it, you're not going to suffer because you have a library full of, I think, how many animals are on the ark, the Big Book of Animals, the Zoo Adventure, the Aquarium Adventure, the Dinosaur Activity Book. I mean, so you've got a lot of resources that you could put in your library and use. It's not just like a work curriculum.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Jonah asked, will you be doing an art curriculum for high school and middle school soon?
It's not slated. Unfortunately, we still have enough core courses. Every now and then, there will be some low-hanging fruit. Something will come our way that's easy to put in print and do. But beyond that, we're focusing on core curriculum right now.
I don't know if I asked this question. Elena said, are there any plans for more living art lessons? Did I ask that?
You did, and I said no.
Okay. Thank you.
Not at this time.
You got answered twice. Good job. Jen asked, when will the preview for Heaven and Earth Beginners be available to see online?
Let's see. I know they're at the red line preview right now. There was some issues with the formatting and the preview. So my guess is if it's not this week, it'll be available next week. The digital will be available next week.
Okay. Also, Allie went outside the door.
You got a ton. Allie.
You're amazing.
Allie is new with Master Books. She's processing orders today. I forget how many orders there are, 400 and some more. 500 orders that came in. So she's busy. And Aubrey, who's normally here, is on vacation. Yep. And so Aubrey is solo. Not Aubrey, Allie is solo. Thank you, Allie.
Thank you.
Okay. So this is the Leonard's Chronological Family Guide.
Do you want me to hold that side of the book?
I think you may have to.
Yeah.
I don't know very much about this book, actually. I've seen it in posters. It's got...
posters.
Yeah, I've seen it in posters. That's about it.
And then it all folds up.
It's got the family... it's got all the family lineage through the Bible. Jeroboam, the 2 tribes. Kind of cool. I've seen people take it and put it up and frame it. So
take it off the book, probably.
Yeah.
So then,
how does that holds up? You're not supposed to do this stuff
and then
live.
The top.
Yeah, these are the things you practice 100 times before you go live.
No, this is real
so
life.
We don't
this
look
is
like...
real life.
Okay, so it's originally published in 1860. One of the most concise, helpful references, reproduction, historical fact, biblical chronology of the Old Testament genealogy.
Ta-da.
Yeah.
There you go.
I wish I had more information.
There's a sample of it. Kathleen said, what is the most commonly bought book you sell? What's our bestseller?
Our bestseller?
Typically, curriculum-wise, is math lessons.
Math lessons and language lessons would be the second.
And then, as far as regular books, I would assume like an Israel Wayne book or Quick Answers.
Yeah, we sell an awful lot of Answers in Genesis books. Top 10, those are probably... Things have changed so much because of the curriculum market. So definitely math lessons followed by language lessons.
Natalie said, I'd love some tips on using Foundation Phonics and teaching my kiddo how to read.
I mean, definitely read the front matter of the course and then just going through the course and not getting upset if your student isn't ready. Some students, if we start too early, we recommend first grade is a place to start teaching to read just because you have more developmentally ready. Some kids are ready early on. Some kids may take a little bit longer.
People are voting that we put the cow picture in one of the curriculums.
Yeah.
Or one of the books.
I love that.
Tiffany asked, how do you use the biology through a microscope with the biology course?
If you don't have a microscope in that, between the textbook and the through a microscope course, all the images that you would need to see are there. And so you would just look in the, for that section of images in the through a microscope book to see the different, I can't think of an example, but let's say it tells you to go looking for a certain close-up image of something that you would need a microscope for. Between the two books, you'll find that image in one of the two books.
Zena asked, new homeschool parents, is the language arts level 5 cover all language arts needed?
Language arts 5?
Is everything you would need for grade 5 contained within level 5? I think maybe that might be the question.
We believe so. Yeah, you would want to get the book 101 Bible Stories. That's a supplement that goes along with that course, but it has all of the education in the scope and sequence that you would use for a fifth grader. If a lot of people are coming from a public school model right now, public school model is using Common Core standards. A lot of the standards they're closely aligned with the traditional scope and sequence, but all of our curriculum uses a traditional scope and sequence. I think you'll see most of homeschool curriculum follows a traditional scope and sequence. But if you're coming from public school and you're looking at what was taught in a public school environment and when, that Common Core philosophy isn't going to translate very much. You're just not going to see that in the homeschool environment. Homeschoolers didn't jump on board with Common Core, still don't. So it's not a positive thing in the homeschool community.
Right. Victoria said, will y'all offer different artistic electives and or anything outside of reading or literature in the future?
Yeah, in the future, the sky's the limit. I mean, we've got some more Bible curriculums coming. We've got some more health coming. There is a forensics course that'll be down the line. Now, all of these are probably a year out because we're in the early stages. Mm-hmm. But, I think you're going to see some really exciting courses coming.
Kim said, is there a certain way to introduce Jensen's grammar series? I thought I had seen in an interview with Mr. Jensen and Randy, suggested vocabulary, punctuation, grammar, and then format writing. I was not 100% sure and have two just about the age ready to start the series. I'm looking for suggestions. Thank you.
I would look at the punctuation and vocabulary as ancillary courses, not necessarily core courses. And the way this is how I would look at it. And if you're doing just grammar, I would start with grammar followed up by format writing. And that would give you what you need for that.
Megan asked, will there be art lessons for younger students? Do we need math manipulative? And are they included in the math lessons books?
We don't have anything slated right now for younger students for art, although there is a lot of different drawing and art appreciation and whatnot because of the Charlotte Mason method in like language lessons for living education, More Than Words, or math lessons, America's Story. Mm-hmm. What was the other part of that?
Will there be art lessons for younger students?
Okay, I answered that. Not at the time.
Yeah. Sarah Ann said, woohoo! So happy. 2 sunshine emojis. She said, I'm catching this live. I almost forgot. Welcome. We've been waiting for you.
We kept the lights on.
The party did not start until just now.
Just now.
Welcome.
Welcome. Just now.
Just now. Okay, next question. Are there testing quizzes for the Math Lessons 2 or Math Lessons 4, or do we need to make our own?
Well, there are reviews, and so you can use the review as a test or a quiz.
To gauge your students' understanding of the materials covered throughout the week.
Because you are the cover spokesperson for Math Lessons for a Living Education on MasterBooks.com, so you've had to study the series in depth.
Typically, review days are done on Friday. So...
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
Anyways, is there a handwriting course?
One other thing, the Practice Makes Perfect packs, which I think there's a lot of questions about it. The Practice Makes Perfect 1 is slated to come out in July. Practice Makes Perfect 2 is slated to come out in August. Those have extra worksheets in case somebody feels they need to add some. It also has quizzes and tests, I believe. So that'll give you a little bit extra if you needed it.
Okie dokie. And is there a handwriting course? That's from Tori.
Handwriting course is in the works as we speak. It's being written by Carrie Bailey, who wrote Simply K, Math K, Stepping Stones.
We love Carrie Bailey.
Yes.
Jamie asked.
Carrie loves us. Can I just say that? Carrie loves us
Hope
as well.
so.
Yeah. It's been, Carrie came on as a moderator because she was so helpful, and she's helpful now in the app too.
I haven't seen her.
She hasn't on here today.
I don't
She's
think so.
but she has been very helpful, and we've really enjoyed having her.
Jamie said, any updates on when the Practice Makes Perfect books will be available?
I gave that July and August.
Boom. Emily said, does Master Books supply any sort of end-of-year testing per grade? My state requires it.
Nope, we would recommend taking let me say, some of the courses we have like a final exam or a final review. You could use that. If you're looking at like achievement testing, then you're better going to like Seton or using Academic Excellence for that.
Georgia G said, I can't wait for Practice Makes Perfect sheets. I'm thinking that's Georgia that does our Science with Delaney videos, and we just got our last one for Adventures in Creation Level 1, and I'm excited because they just agreed to do Level 2 when that comes out, which is it
Nice.
This month? Or next month?
It's at the printer. I think the digital may be available. Did Josh get that done? I don't
I'm
know.
not sure yet.
We'll have to
But
give him
that's
a hard
exciting.
time.
So they just finished the course for the year. We're excited for that. Next question. Jennifer asked, are there any Master Books pieces that deal with agriculture? I saw the zoology books, and as a family new to raising chickens and ducks and soon to add goats, I'd love for my elementary children to learn more about caring for animals and even plants on a farm.
Yeah, I can't say we have any that I would be aware of offhand.
I mean, God's Design for Life may be a good one because it covers animals, plants, humans.
Zoology would be, but there's nothing specifically related to, like gardening, chicken keeping. Guineas. Does anybody have guineas that are here? Because we have guineas, and guineas are the blessing and the curse.
Well, they're like guard dogs. They'll let you know if somebody's in the yard.
Yeah, we don't have snakes. We don't have mice. We definitely don't have ticks. We moved to the south, and apparently ticks outnumber people like 1,000,000 to 1 in the south. And so somebody said, get guineas. And you don't sleep with guineas because, like, they're loud. When they start barking, and they jump to the rooftops. They're the ugliest creature. I've never seen a bird this ugly. They look prehistoric, but they remind me of the dodo birds.
They do
Ice
look like
Age,
that.
where they all just fall off the cliff.
No, never mind. Mine is the seagulls in Finding Nemo. What are the dodo birds in Ice Age? Yeah.
Where they all just fall off the cliff going after the melon.
I've gotten home after midnight a few nights, and I've gone up, and they'll be like up on my apartment steps. And they alert everybody that I'm home, and then they like all dive bomb off the roof, and I'm like, thank you.
But we usually go through like 20 of them a year because they're not the brightest birds.
They like to play in the street.
Oh wait, we're not talking in the farming channel. We're on Master Books.
Rachel did say the homesteading book, Modern Homesteading, might be a good resource for that, but she hasn't looked through it. But that might also be a good one that she would like to look through.
They have a little bit. They have a little bit in there. Yep.
Does Master Books offer a health class specifically for high school students? That's what Amanda asked.
No, we have a health series being started, but nothing specifically at this time.
Awesome. Barbara asked, what is the difference in all the science options? I am currently thinking elementary. Is it same content, different layout? If so, which learning style works better with which style? She said, I'm thankful for options, but not wanting the mom guilt of missing something since I didn't do everything. I'm doing science with my kids since I feel I missed so much when I was growing up.
We need to do a teaching tips about mommy guilt, right? Mommy shame is a big deal, and there's a lot of new homeschoolers coming. We have FOMO to deal with. We have all kinds of things. So maybe Thursday we'll talk about mommy guilt. That'd be a good teaching tip to swing back around to.
As far as science goes,
Well, yeah, science, there's multiple options. We offer multiple options for different styles. So Science Starters is very hands-on, experimental. Let's Talk Science, the Adventures in Creation, Adventures in the Physical World, has a little bit more of a Charlotte Mason influence. It's got living stories and more hands-on as well. Mm-hmm. And then you have God's Design Science, which is a little bit more traditional, a little more textbooky, so it's got more text. Then we have supplemental courses that we've built using real-world books like zoology and elementary science, sea, soil, and sky, those courses. And so those are more, here's a teacher guide that goes along with some real-world books that you would use from your library. It really depends stylistically on what you like. Look at the reviews. Ask questions. If you see a series, don't be afraid to go into the Moms of Master Books and say, hey, what does everyone think of Adventures in Creation? And get their input on it.
A few people jumping in saying, yes, please, on the Mommy Guilt Talk.
Okay.
So, Thursday?
Yeah, love to.
Be here.
It's Thursday. A favorite topic. When I came here, one of the fun things is I was talking with the president of the company and I said, I can make almost any homeschool mom cry. And so someone came in who was homeschooling, and within a couple of minutes, she was crying. It was so easy because we've seen the triggers, right? There's 25,000 moms here, and we've been dealing with homeschool moms for over 25 years. And it's really easy to know you're not alone. Every single homeschool mom second guesses herself or has FOMO or has some kind of guilt. And so that's like one of the most fun topics because it's like just get an attitude and do it. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Melissa asks, is there any life skill courses that will be added to curriculum?
Life skill courses. We have a consumer math actually being proposed right now that I'm super stoked about that would add some financial skills. As far as other life skills, I don't think so. There's basic stuff, but nothing specifically for life skills.
We have things incorporated throughout the course, like there's cooking incorporated throughout like the geography courses and some of the math.
Yeah, we use a lot of applied learning, which are life skill type things.
She's talking about home ec, kind of, right?
Yeah, or auto mechanics or anything like that. Typically, yeah.
Okie doke. Well, Lacey said, looking at history, we don't have a set of encyclopedias. Suggestions?
Well, this is a harder one, but most of the time, if there's something that's needed, I would say you researching information on the internet with your child if it's needed. Master Books tries to stay away from sending people to the internet for obvious reasons, right? So that's not something we don't, like in our books, there may be occasionally a link, like check out this link or watch this video, but we don't do that as a practice because we don't, like there may be some, go do some research, you could go to the library, you could go online and do something like that. Most of our courses don't recommend outside resources that we haven't vetted.
Awesome. April asks, is elementary U.S. geography and social studies really sold out or just not available yet? Also, will we be able to get an inside sample of the teacher's guide soon?
It's not available yet. The only way our site has it is it says out of stock. And so we put it up, so it's on the website, but once it hits the catalog, but it's listed as out of stock. The teacher guide isn't yet. It's not quite ready yet. I've heard there's 2 designers working on it and an editor this week. So that's all I got.
I was just waiting to see what you would say.
That's all I got.
Erica said, will British history be coming back? I see it in the clearance. Didn't know if it was being reworked or canceled. We just moved from 3 years in England, so we'd love to see it back again.
No, it's been incorporated into world history. They've brought some of that into the world history book. But unfortunately, there wasn't enough demand to keep it in print.
Whitney asks, are there any additional resources or supplemental books available that would coincide with America's Story 3?
It's a good question. I think in America's Story 3, there will be some discussion about evolution and Darwin, and we have a lot of information on that and the impact that that's had on culture and society. But I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't have a really strong answer on that one without doing some research.
Vanessa said, I ordered 2nd grade curriculum today. Is it a typical 2nd grade public school level? It seems to be where my son needs.
Yeah, it'd be a 2nd grade equivalent. That's the best of what we recommend. Now, Master Books, we're not big on grade levels, because grade levels are basically you take all your kids, you throw them into a class, and you say, hey, you're all 2nd graders. Well, that isn't the way the world works. The real world means, if I'm in 2nd grade, I have kids of all different skills and abilities and talents and interests, and so homeschooling allows me to take them out of that little box and actually target the education to fit their needs. And in doing that, I may find out that my 2nd grader can do 5th grade math, but he can only do 1st grade writing. And so I'm able to build the education. So our full grade sets are, you're getting started, you want to know, just tell me where to start, there you go. But we recommend placement tests, and we recommend becoming an educated consumer, if you will, which is why we keep Moms of Master Books focused on Master Books Curriculum, because you can ask questions about the curriculum and build the solution that works best. If you've watched my videos in the past, you'll know one of the things I say is curriculum is a tool, and you are the carpenter. Use the tool that best meets the job. Don't become a tool in the hands of a carpenter, meaning the curriculum uses you and you're a slave to it, even when it doesn't necessarily work, right? So you want to be able to say, here's what my student needs, and I'm familiar with that, and so I'm going to find the best solutions or the best tools to help my student.
Awesome. Tasha asked, she said, just curious if the high school world literature curriculum will be updated like the high school history. I don't want to buy now if it's going to be updated. Thank you.
At present, there are not plans to do any updates to it.
Matthew and Sarah asked, do you still get free shipping if ebooks help you reach the $75?
No, it's physical books. I'm pretty sure it's just the physical book purchases.
Mandy said, does Master Books offer an encyclopedia?
We do not.
Okay, dokie. I'm going to kind of jump into the live stream comments now that we've gone through the post comments. Jonah said, are you offering online courses?
We have Master Books Academy. There's 2 courses or 3 courses, 4. I think the Jensen's is uploaded there as well at a discounted rate. And then we have Principles of Math 1, Principles of Math 2. Catherine Loop, who did Principles of Math 1 and 2, is developing an algebra and a geometry course, which I think that'll be incredible. Carrie Bailey is doing a Simply K course, which will be very helpful to come alongside moms who have kindergarten students, and she's done a great job with that course. So that'll be coming online. Summer King is doing a world history course for high school. She's working on that. Angela Odell is working on some courses. I think she's working on American history. The courses are actually kind of intense to build, but yeah. So masterbooksacademy.com is where you can go and find out information about courses.
Barbara said, yes, I get free shipping by combining PDF and physical books. So.
Oh, good. Yay.
Thank you.
That's generous. That's generous.
How thoughtful.
Yeah, how thoughtful of us.
Bruce and Caitlin said, what language arts curriculum do I buy after Foundations Phonics for a first grader? What would be after Foundations Phonics?
Language Lessons for a Living Education 1. The Foundation Phonics is designed to be one semester, half a year. And then Language Lessons for a Living Education 1 is designed to be the second. And so they do, first grade would be phonics and language lessons. And language lessons will continue helping them build their reading skills.
First year homeschool family. Looking to start my first grader age 6 in pre-K age 4, transitioning from public school system. Would course bundle for each grade suffice?
The basic 4? Yep, the basic 4 would be your starting place. Typically you would add in electives, like you would do some art, music, phys ed. Phys ed can be, let's go to the gym twice a week as a family and swim, or do something active and physical. Art, can be taking an art course or picking up a book or doing our art course. Your music courses, I know we did music because we led worship at different churches, and so we would spend hours practicing and rehearsing and going through new things, and that counted as our music elective for you guys. So
the basic 4 for the first grader, that's going to cover your basic 4 subjects, obviously. But
the
what
core.
About for pre-K? Because that would be
pre-K,
Simply K and Math K.
Yeah, if you're doing pre-K, I would do stepping stones. Let's see. Yeah, I would do stepping stones for your pre-K, and then that moves from there into Simply K, which is your kindergarten course. And you don't need to do anything more than that. In our educational philosophy, there's some videos out there that discuss it, but in our educational philosophy, you want to develop the whole child before you really concentrate on giving academic rigor. And so Simply K and Stepping Stones are developmental approaches to education.
Chelsea said, if I purchase the bundles for my 3rd and 7th grade girls, what else would you recommend to go with that? First year homeschool family over here. We have a lot of first year homeschoolers.
Yeah, we're excited for you. I would look at maybe a Bible, like elementary apologetics, more than words. You could look at, the living art lessons would be something that you could use for art. And then again, just finding some ancillary. If the kids play sports, there's some physical activity that could count. Art lessons or art, music, that type of thing.
Ancillary is your new big word for today. You've been using it quite a bit.
Ancillary.
Can you explain
add-on.
What is it?
It'd be like add-on, okay, or something that's, in addition to.
Look at you.
Somebody will come in and say, that's not at all what
that's
that
not
word
what that means. I just noticed you've used it a few times.
And now
today,
you just
just
called me out.
Okay. Jade asked, do y'all have any plans to make a pre-calculus or calculus high school math program?
At this time, it's not on the charts. Right now, Algebra 2 is in the works, being laid out by design. We're working on that. It's taken longer, I think, than anticipated because it's a monster course. And then we have the next step will probably be a consumer math course, because there seems to be more need right now for a consumer math course than the other. And then we'll move into that.
Jenna asked, are you looking to hire instructors for the Master Books Academy?
Yeah, I'm open to instructors. If you if you are somebody who are doing a course or interested in doing a course, you're welcome to contact us. You're welcome. Contact us through the help desk, masterbooks.com. Go to the customer support help desk and say, hey, I heard that you guys were interested in courses. Typically, like, we go through a little bit of a process to do that, but we're definitely open to finding instructors.
Awesome. Melissa said, thank you for taking the time to respond to my questions. I think she had a question in the first post and then in the live stream, so
okay,
you're welcome.
Yes, you're
We're
absolutely
happy
welcome.
to help. Carrie said, a friend is asking me about placing her child in language arts. This is her first year to homeschool. Her daughter has been in private school until now. Her daughter places in both writing strands and language lessons. How would you direct her?
Well, the readiness test that's on the landing page, or the readiness guide that's on the landing page, would be the guide that I would use the most for language lessons, and the same for writing strands. We do have some coaches and moderators who enjoy doing both courses at the same time, because one has more of an emphasis on writing and the other is grammar and writing. We recommend choosing one or the other, but we certainly don't. We think it's awesome that families are enjoying doing both. So,
right. Jesse said, where should I start with preschool? Should I do stepping stones? Caitlin said they've done it for a 4-year-old, and it was fantastic.
Stepping Stones is designed for a 4-year-old.
Okay,
I wouldn't push your 3-year-old. I'd let them enjoy life. Let them play and imagine, read books to them, give them new experiences. I've done videos on the academic system in America and how we put so much emphasis on the academics and so little emphasis on the social, physical, spiritual growth of a child, and how they may excel in the early part, but usually by grades 4 and 5 they actually start to decline and regress. And countries like Finland that wait on their students, they focus heavily on play-based learning in the early grades, and then they focus heavier on academics starting at age 7, have a much higher success rate than the American education system.
Yeah. Saran said, when we were growing up, my sister and I were homeschooled as well. My mom counted our dance classes of ballet, tap, jazz, etc. as our physical education classes when needed.
Yep, that's what we did too. You never took ballet classes.
No, I ran cross country and was really bad at it. Like, really bad.
We counted it
I
as
was
dance.
not
We counted it as
dance. I practically.
It was interpretive dance.
Yeah. It was bad. Vanessa, I was not made to run. Vanessa said, are there any... Nope, sorry. Ask that question again. Christy asked, I just heard the Let's Talk Science might be continuing to grade 6. Can you discuss that?
Yep, Lord willing, grade 6. Right now, she is working on grade 3 right now. And what was grade 3? General science? I'm not sure. But yeah, it'll cover all of the sciences. And it's actually, she's adding a K level too. So hopefully we'll see one level coming out a year.
If we do Foundation Phonics along with Simply K for older advanced kids, when would you suggest starting Foundation Phonics, or would you still words are hard, hold off until 1st grade?
It depends on your student. But again, don't push your students, right? There's this tendency to want to push our students because we're concerned they're going to miss out on something, or they're not going to be as bright as Johnny and Jamie at Christmas time when we're sitting there with our in-laws. The academic philosophy of when the child is ready to read, they will teach you. They'll show you they're ready to go. And so I wouldn't worry about pushing too heavy in preschool or kindergarten. And then 1st grade would be the right time to start it. But there are students who, age 5, even 4, that are just ready to go, then I wouldn't stop it, but I wouldn't push them.
Kim said, hello, brand new to homeschooling and Master Books. My son will be doing Simply K this year. I saw something about a supplement or accompanying book coming out for kindergarten soon. Is this correct? And do you think I would be able to use it for this year?
I think we answered that.
Did we?
Yeah.
I'm trying to go back through some of the live comments and okay.
I think we got most of them.
Most of them.
And we're at an hour, so.
So we find one more.
Yeah.
One more. I know there's one on Facebook. I'll jump over to Facebook. We're balancing 2 phones today because Facebook keeps changing up the live stream on us.
Yeah.
Jackie said, I know you've been updating the world and American history courses. Are you working on the literature courses that correspond to the high school? That's another question. Well, yeah, but somebody else asked it.
Oh, did they?
Hang
no,
on.
At this time we're not.
We just have to find one more question. Can level 5 history and science be done with a first grader? Do they need a workbook?
I'm sorry, I got distracted. Somebody talked to me at Amy Grant.
Teach them to
diligently.
I recognize the name Amy Grant. I know what I'm thinking, and that's why I recognize. Maybe it's actually the actual Amy.
It was
Grant.
Nashville.
Are you the actual Amy P. Grant?
She is.
She
because
is.
That is Amy
but
Grant.
Do you sing?
She may sing.
She may sing, probably.
I'm so thankful to talk with Randy at Teach Them Diligently. I'm excited to start our first year with MB after switching out from another curriculum. Awesome. Well, I'm glad I could help. We only got to do one convention this year, and that was Teach Them Diligently Nashville. So that was our big hoorah before the world went. All right. We're good?
Yep.
Okay.
I think we're good.
All right. Hey, guys. Well, hopefully this was helpful, and we certainly are blessed to be part of this tribe and this community. Mm-hmm. Thank you for your time and participating with us this afternoon. This is one of the things we look forward to every week is doing these. And we have people like Jess who jumps in every week and is here. And it's fun to connect and be part of this.
It's like a break. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we get to take a break from work and talk to y'all. It doesn't really feel like work.
Yeah, and some of you are actually able to say, we were homeschooling before it was cool. So it was before everybody did it, like we did it, but it looked a little different. So, okay. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Hey, have a good one, and we will talk to you on Thursday. We'll address the issue of mommy guilt, one of my favorite topics. Which is weird.
Okay,
talk to you later. God bless you guys. Bye.